What's up, everybody? GeauxBurns climbing back up upon Mount Soapbox for yet another rant, just like I do every Sunday. As long as I or you have something to rant about, I will do it. By the way, if you do have any rant suggestions, leave them below in the comments section. Today's rant is coming courtesy of one of you, my viewers, subscribers, and fans, the old crone of PlayStation. He also goes by The Gamer on YouTube. He wanted me to do a rant about the Roosevelt. First off, the Roosevelt is awesome. I love that car. Secondly, what he was referring to was the fact that it is a quote-unquote limited edition ride, which means you could only get it during a certain time period. For example, back in February 2014, during the St. Valentine's Massacre Time Limited DLC, along with the GeauxBurns, aka the Tommy Gun, some Valentine's-themed masks, and suits from the 1930s Prohibition era. Now, unfortunately, anyone else that started playing Grand Theft Auto online post February 2014 has yet to be able to purchase the Roosevelt or the GeauxBurns or those rare masks or the clothing options that came with St. Valentine's Massacre. We thought that that was going to happen this past February, but alas, for whatever rhyme or reason, there was no re-release of the time-limited St. Valentine's Massacre back in February 2015. Incidentally, I did a rant about that issue, and I think a lot of people were generally upset with Rockstar, which is probably why several months later they did a re-release of the Independence Special during the July 4th weekend. So obviously Rockstar listened to the fans' plight, their anger, frustration about not being able to get the Valentine's items back in February 2015, and this time they tried to make it right by allowing you to get the Independence Day special items in July. Hopefully this coming February 2016 they will once again re-release the St. Valentine's Massacre DLC so that everyone will have the opportunity to legally purchase the Roosevelt, the GeauxBurns, and all the other awesome content that came with that time-limited DLC. And I would like to see some new stuff added as well, but that remains to be seen. But let's get to the issue of limited or special or collector's edition items, because on last gen there were several versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 that rolled out. The base version, then the special edition, then the limited edition, collector's edition. Each one more expensive than the other, but each one came with different things. Some of them actually came with some physical content. Others came with digital content like unique weapons, the 50 caliber pistol, the bullpup shotgun, the hammer, various vehicles like the hot knife, the Carbon RS, the Chameleon electric car. And last gen, these weapons and vehicles were limited edition. They were exclusive to the individuals that purchased the copies of Grand Theft Auto 5 that had these said items. Now, when current gen rolled out in 2014 for November on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, later on in the spring of 2015 for PC, they did away with the limited collectors special editions and allowed everybody that bought the current gen version of Grand Theft Auto 5 to be able to buy those items that was once limited to specific players. For example, I pre-ordered one of these versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 for Xbox 360. My version came with a really cool looking blueprint of San Andreas, and the digital stuff included the weapons, the 50 cal pistol, the bullpup shotgun, and the hammer. Now, whenever I bought the current gen versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 and online for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, it came with the other vehicles unlocked, like the hot knife, the Carbon RS bike, the Chameleon electric car. Those were not available to me on the Xbox 360 and last gen, but now I can purchase them at Legendary Motorsports because I have the current gen copies of Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, some people may not see a problem with this, but I kind of do. On one hand, I don't really have a problem with everybody having access to all the items. I think that's a good idea. I don't like the idea of playing favorites. But whenever you make something limited edition, like the weapons or the vehicles, then they should either A, remain limited edition, or B, you let the customer know that these are simply early access items. That means you get to purchase them now, and later on everyone else will be able to buy them too. In other words, calling these items limited edition on last gen but making them general for everybody else on current gen is a slap in the face to everybody that pre-ordered those various versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. The next example of exclusive content is revolved around actually the current gen consoles. The Dukes, the Stallion, Ballista Compact, Dodo Seaplane, Marshall Monster Truck, Kraken Sub, and the Hatchet. Those items are available for those of us that played Grand Theft Auto Online on last gen and transferred our characters over to current gen along with a Rockstar Social Club account. Which means that those exclusive content items we just talked about, the Duke, Stallion, the Marshall Monster Truck, and all the others, are exclusive limited edition for those of us that have been playing the game since last gen back in 2013. But is it only a matter of time before Rockstar does the same thing to us and just make the exclusive items available for everybody? Because there are a lot of gamers out there that did not play Grand Theft Auto Online on last gen. They had already moved on to Xbox One or PlayStation 4 or PC, and they never bought Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3 versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 or online. Now, that is an issue that could be debated from both sides. I just think that sooner or later Rockstar is going to make that exclusive content available for everybody on current gen. Doesn't matter if it's PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and it doesn't matter if you played back on last gen or not. Eventually, I get the feeling that they're going to do the same thing with the exclusive content that they did with the limited edition content by simply making it early access. Which would be fine if they would just let us know that at the very beginning. Say, hey, this is early access content. You guys get it first, just like with the limited edition content. But eventually, somewhere down the road, 6 months or a year from now, we're going to make this available for everybody else to purchase. Now I turn my attention to the Festive Surprise time-limited DLC. 2 years in a row, we got a holiday-themed DLC with some awesome Christmas-themed masks and costumes, but we could not keep them. Yes, we didn't have to pay for them. We could just go to the store and collect them, and they'd be added to our inventory. But after the holiday season was over, they got ripped away from us. The awesome sweaters, the masks, all that, gone. I realize it's seasonal, Rockstar, but at the same time, a lot of us would be more than happy to pay for these masks and these outfits in order to keep them and use them year-round. For example, there's a series I like to do called Sandy Shore Snowman. I did a couple episodes back in December that was quite popular, and I would still like the means to be able to do the Sandy Shore Snowman on at least a monthly basis, but I wasn't able to do that because you took away the snowman mask, the sweater, and the Christmas-themed scarf. But that's okay, because Sandy Shore Snowman will return in December in the event of a new holiday-themed DLC. And hopefully this time around, they'll actually, put those items for sale in the stores where we can purchase and keep. Did I mention that we would not mind paying for these items, Rockstar? Okay, we would give you money so that we could keep the masks and the costumes and all the other cool Christmassy themed stuff. Anyway, so my issues here with the time-limited edition stuff is that they need to make the time-limited items available for purchase during certain times of year on a regular basis, like for example the re-release of the Independence Special this past July. I want to see the same thing happen with Valentine's Massacre coming up in February 2016. Actually inform gamers in advance that if these time-limited items are in fact going to be early access, you owe it to the gaming community that purchased those special limited collector's editions of Grand Theft Auto 5 on last gen to let us know straight up, hey, this is early access and eventually somewhere down the road it'll be available for everybody, but for right now it's only for you guys. And finally, just do away with the whole notion of limited editions or exclusive contents and just make these items available for everybody that actually takes the time to play Grand Theft Auto Online, that buys the game, that goes in grinding missions or heists or even using shark cards to buy items. Just make it available for everybody. That way the entire community is happy. All the items are available. I realize that's not going to happen. So the best option here is for anything that's time limited, just make it available during certain cycles of the year so that people that missed out on the Massacre items in February 2014 have yet another chance a year later in order to purchase the Roosevelt, the GeauxBurns, and all that other awesome Prohibition-era swag.